How's the audio? Is it doing good? I've got a new setup, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. Let's just try to play a song and see what happens. I'm loving this new setup. It sounds really great. And this is kind of a simple thing. Sorry, we're getting another one going on for some reason. Maybe we'll play another one here in a minute. I want to tell you what I'm doing first, and I want to give you some Christmas greetings. I hope everyone is having, a fantastic holiday season. And everything is, Santa Claus is good to you, and I hope you're on the nice list and not the naughty list. So what I've done today is a bit of an experiment, thanks to my friends Barry and Eric over at XTS, Exact Tone Solutions. They're in Nashville, Tennessee. So what I'm doing is I've got my board that has a VP4 on it and a gearbox, a Bella, and a Woodshed compressor. And that's the whole board. So that's all that's going on. Now, one thing I've always kind of done on live streams is just run my pedals in front of my amps. It's fine. But I missed the stereo thing. We had the really huge show at the Bijou. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the photos. There's going to be a lot of content coming from that, and a lot of really great media coverage from that. We have a lot of good photography and all kinds of good stuff from that Bijou show. But I play stereo live, and I love it. It's like a drug. So I've been missing that when I do my live streams. Here's what I figured out. Go out of the aux, the line level out, go into the left and right of the VP4, and then out of the VP4 into my UA. This is a very simple solution that yielded just unbelievably great results. So now you can have that glorious stereo spread smearing around. Yeah, man, it sounds so good. And then all of the pitch shift and stuff like that is in stereo as well, right? That sounds so glorious, and it does a great Van Halen type of thing as well, Does that thing really well, right? It sounds so big in 3D, it just makes me laugh. It sounds so good. So yeah, I hope it's translating out there through the wonders of YouTube compression, which I'm sure that's making it not as great as it could be, but that's okay. This is the SL68 that you're hearing right now, and it's just kind of clean. great. Maybe a little more gas on the... That's not there. It sounds really, really good. So again, coming out of the guitar into the Woodshed compressor, and that's really, you know, Woodshed and Gearbox are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Here's without anything except, that's just amp and delay. Here comes the compressor. Man, it sounds good. Here comes the Gearbox. Nice and chewy. Sorry, I can't get it. One more time on that. Sorry, I'm sloppy. Yeah, it sounds really, really good. Really good. So, man, you know, the holiday season is upon us. I did a 10 best of, you know, my favorite gifts for guitar players, ranging in all different sizes and spectrums and speeds and all that good stuff. Album here, my man Album. I hope you have a great Christmas, Album. You know, appreciate you so much for hanging out with me, being a part of our community this year. Compressor settings are super simple. Looks like, you know, 1 o'clock fast, 2 o'clock noon, you know? Yeah, kind of like that, right? So, also went to see Dan Huff last week. It was incredible. Dan was straight ripping fire on those classic things that I love to hear him do. Those kind of things were just like big slide into a bend, you know, and he just sounded so good. He played that tune, you know. Here comes some reverb. It's kind of nice right there. But yeah, Huff was killing it, man. He just sounded great. He was inspiration for that Storms and Sparrows tune, him and Lukather and guys like that. Maybe we play another one, right? What do we play? We play this one. We played that one last time. I think we played that one last time. Let's try. We haven't played this in a minute. Hang on, turn up the backing track. Hang on, we need a quick track. You're gonna get again. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go maybe one more tune while we're just hanging out here. One more tune. Why not? Just like Bill Monroe did it. He didn't do it like that. I don't think Bill played it like that. All right, let's get some Q&A going. Get your Christmas questions ready. Get your holiday list ready. That song's so ridiculous. It's so dumb. But it's so much fun. I was so blessed. In my studio, I have a letter hanging on the wall. I wrote Brent Mason when I was about 17 years old, 16, 17. And he wrote me back. And I've always kept this letter framed forever. And it's hung on my studio, and now Brent's a friend. So Brent, if you see this, man, Merry Christmas. And, he's come to my Woodsheds and been a part of those. He played on the album. It's really crazy, man. It's really, they say don't meet your heroes, but God, I've got 24 people that I could disprove that with, guys like Andy Timmons or Eric Johnson or, Dan Huff, so I don't know if I believe the don't meet your heroes thing anymore. Let's hit some Q&A here. Let me turn off this second camera so you don't just see my big stupid armpit. There we go. And if OBS shuts off, it's asking for an update. Remind me later, don't shut off. We're working. Okay, let me move column A here, and let me move column B over here. I'm trying to get my stuff to where I can see you guys. Okay, here we go. Let's hit some questions and some comments. A little music there to get your Tuesday afternoon rocking and rolling. People are saying the audio works good. That's good. Great. Andy, would you consider talking about positions on the neck? Yes, actually. Alexa K has been asking for this for a couple of weeks. So let's talk about that. This is like neck position stuff, and I'm just going to use like a basic tone. Basic B tone. So positions of the neck mean a couple of different things for me. And it's not really where on the neck I'm at, it's how the grip feels in my hand. So for instance, if I'm grassing and I'm playing a lot of chicken picking, bluegrassy kind of licks, I'm going to see certain harmony across the fretboard. A big part of that harmony is going to be root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. But within that, I'm also going to see root 2, minor 3, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So it's all like this. Here's basic major scale. Here's the mixo. That's kind of like what we were just hearing in free range chicken. However, if we're going to grass it, we need a couple extra notes. We need like that kind of classic lick I just played. This kind of thing. So like when I'm playing that kind of stuff, I don't want to sound cliche. I'm not calling anybody out because I know sometimes stuff can be misinterpreted and it's not meant to be. By cliche, I mean I don't want to sound like a rock guy who plays country. That sounds to me like guys that do this. It's very linear and it sounds like they're playing their shred licks, but they're playing. It doesn't sound country, right? Country needs these accents. You know, all these kind of pops and it's almost got more in line with like a funk thing. Maybe come into like so you're using a lot of this extra stuff. So when I'm thinking of hand positions that connect all this, I want to see the chords that glue all that together. See, I'm just holding this A up here and I'm just changing what's down in the bass note. So it's root 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Now this flat 7 is going to glue me to this position. So I'm, the hand positions are just the chords that I'm using. Look at this. Here's the Jessica shape. And I want to play, maybe I want to get down here this blues thing. And then get down here and grass it. Now I'll be like. That'd be like moving through all three, right? It sounds really great and natural. It flows down. It doesn't sound like this. That sounds very disconnected to me. Now you need this information, you know. That's all it's that thing, right? So you need that information. You need all that to get up and down the neck, but I'm still just kind of singing it like in a more musical manner. Smearing those barrier where it's got those barriers and those chunks, those blocks, smearing that. And this philosophy applies to shred and everything. It applies to jazz and shred and everything. I don't want the hand positions to sound evident, where it's like, oh, he's playing way up high on the neck. And this is something I've stolen from Steve Morse. I've got a great, I say it's great. I've worked my butt off on it for an arrangement of or not my arrangement. I'm doing Steve Morse's arrangement, Joy to the World. And one of the things he does is he plays a section of the song that it's up high. Instead of being down low, see how it's a different kind of sound on different string sets. So even though it's a lower sound, it's got more subwoofer in it when you play it on the low strings. Versus like playing on these low strings, but higher up on the neck has a different sound. So all of that is part of how I see fretboard positions. It's really about seeing the structure of the harmony that's around it. You know, here's G. Look at all the things you could do if you just start, moving G around. Let's just take this G power chord. Instead of playing it like this, play it like that. Look at this. Right? Does that help a little bit? I feel like it was as clear as mud. But you've been asking for that, and for this kind of stuff, I would advise you to jump into my Patreon and take a look around. We've got about 600 or 700 videos of lessons that date back 5 years. Tons of content, and I touch on how I navigate up and down through different positions in that stuff, right? Andy, what EQ frequencies are you boosting for your cleans? It's 400 and something else, right? This is from Dustin. Yeah, I'll tell you right now exactly what it is because I've got it pulled up. For my cleans, I've got a low-end shelf. It's blocking it around 100 hertz. It actually says 96.6, but I'm not that specific. I just turn it to like, oh, there it is. So, and that's chopping the bottom off. Now, on the next EQ notch, right around 980, about a K, I've got the Q pretty sharp, and I'm notching that 980 about 1,000. That's 1K. I'm notching that about 6 dB down, so that's bringing that down. And then I've got another bump up around 4K, same kind of thing. It's like my frequencies are very specific. I don't EQ like this, where I'm grabbing big chunks to me, that's not really grabbing EQ so much as it is just moving this whole wall of frequency. I just want specific frequencies. So here's without it. And this is the way I would play with like lead tone. It's really dark sounding. And now here comes the EQ. See how much brighter it is? You know. Right? So that's the EQ for you, Dustin. Okay, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Dave. Merry Christmas, Dustin. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah. Thanks for the beer money right there in the tip jar. I appreciate that so much. That's Lads Band. Thanks for that beer money. A little eggnog money this time of year, right? What was this song? I don't know. Jay says now play something hard. I that's all I got. That's all I got, dude. France is in the house. And Andy, what frequencies do you boost and what do you cut? I think we just hit that question, right? Western is saying, what speakers would you recommend to go with the AM4? What speakers would you recommend? Are you meaning inside a cab block? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean like actual guitar speakers? So that's Western. You kind of let me know what that is. More Christmas wishes? Yeah. Dude, real question. Do you think of chord changes over a scale or arpeggios over each chord? Yes, to both. Like that's a two-way street. I'm not mapping things in a one-dimensional manner. That comes from years of playing, but also just kind of widening what, releasing the grip of rules and how you're supposed to view things. If it helps you to see an arpeggio for part of the song, but scales for the other part of the songs, that's great. Like it's not all or nothing, right? Very, very important kind of thing right there. Not to be like all or nothing. When are we getting a Christmas song album, cover album? You're going to get a Christmas song hopefully today if my guy editing it is done. I'm checking it. Okay, no, he's not done yet. I sent him the last round of adjustments. It's 34 guitars, and yeah, there's a lot. I got my boy Jimmy T, who works on all the Dream Theater records. I got my man Jimmy T. He did me a solid favor and squeezed me in to get me a mix. Yeah. Stefan says your sound volume on YouTube is very low compared to ads. I have to raise the volume a lot. Shoot, man, I think that's just the nature of advertisement. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something that I could do. I don't know. AM4 comes out today. Dave says it's coming out. Yeah, Van Halen right now. That's actually what I was playing, right? I'm 15 minutes behind in the comments. Maybe longer because I'm answering and scrolling, kind of doing that. So, this is a really pretty sound. My mom's coming over today, cooking. I'm cooking some early Christmas dinner for her. A lot of the family's going to be in Nashville for Christmas. I'm going to stay here. I'm on the road so much, just, doing Christmas a day early. So, yeah. Western is saying, sorry, I meant to, what speakers to play through in like a bedroom? Yeah, this is a great question. Let's pretend that space isn't an option and money's not an option. I would want stereo. And within that, I would want 2 of those, maybe those Laney cabinets that are 110s. So they're big, but they're not ridiculously big. They're, you know, this, they're like that, right? So 2 of those. And again, that's just assuming that space, you know, to have 2 cabinets and money to buy 2 cabinets isn't a thing. That's what I would personally get. You're all in one. They've got power amps in them, and you don't have to worry about monitors and a computer and all this kind of foolishness. Yeah. Hey, Tyler. Tyler's down there in Myrtle Beach. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you strung up the Christmas lights in the palm trees, you know. Hope it's good weather down there in Myrtle Beach, too. Making ribs in Texas today, and it's 80 degrees outside. I love it. I love that, man. I'm going to be grilling up some steak sliders today. I've got a great recipe for a cowboy butter. I'm getting some bread and pepper jack cheese. Lay on that cowboy butter. Put those babies in the oven. Go outside. Grill the filet up. Just salt and pepper. Nothing crazy. Olive oil, salt and pepper. That's it. And then once those are grilled up, come in, assemble the slider, put the cowboy butter on the top, garnish with whatever you like. It's nice. That's what I'm doing today. A little broccoli, little green beans, you know, kind of stuff like that. Oh yeah, somebody's saying I could push the volume a little bit hotter. Let's just creep that up another notch. Okay, I just threw another notch on the fire. There we go. A little more volume. I'm afraid to make a big jump while we're live. Dave is here with another question from the AM4 VP4 stuff. Dave's saying, Andy, SPDIF from AM4 to VP4 or just stereo, have you heard a difference? Let me tell you about this. This is a great one. I'm putting the pick down for this. Those SPDIF cables are the most finicky cables ever. You know when you have the TV and the sound bar and it's got to be connected by an optic cable and it looks like the little light bulb on the end. And every now and then it's like you haven't even touched anything and it just goes out. I hate those cables. I hate them so bad. Same way with SPDIF. I know a lot of engineers are like, oh, and it's got SPDIF on it. UA aux. Oh, man, it's got SPDIF. And it can No, sir. I don't like that. I need durability. My prioritization goes tone, durability, ease of use. I know other people have those stats in different ways. I'd rather work harder, it sound great, and it never mess up. That's what I'm after. So, never SPDIF for me. Am I saying it's wrong? Absolutely not. Am I saying that other people are not going to get great results with it? They absolutely can get great results with it. Will I ever use it that way? Never. Never will I use it that way. So, I hate to be so passionate about it, but SPDIF cables, man, I mean, brother, your favorite records of all time are either 1/4 inch or XLR. Your favorite guitar tones in the history of guitar are either 1/4 inch or XLR. I just don't, there you go, Yeah, the sound bar. So AM4 stereo out into VP4 stereo in. Yes, brother. So like right now I'm using the aux out and I'm going in left on my board, in right on my board, out left and right into the AX8. That way I can get the cab modeling that I like from the aux. I really like their cab modeling. It sounds like a cabinet in a room. I'm going SL68 aux into that. And that's how we're doing it. Yeah. So there's a question down here at the bottom. Hey, Andy, when you play the Eric Johnson 5-note sequences, do you alternate pick everything or sweep the last note of the 5 into the first? Merry Christmas. I alternate pick it all, but that's not to say that you can't have choices when you go to do it. Let's bring up some EJ-ism. So if I'm gonna, there's just reverb. Here we go. Here we go. Is that 5? That feels like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I mean, there you go. I'm gonna pick it all. I really like that sound, but that's not to say you can't get a great sound mixing in some pull-offs as well. There's some pull-offs. And then without it. So you see how you get both as a good option, especially on neck pickup, man. Those picking everything sounds really, really sick. You know, versus the. Yeah, there's the big difference between the Bonamassa thing and the EJ thing. EJ's a little faster with more pull-offs, more economy picking. Joe's a little slower, but way more crispy. Joe is notorious for saying this in videos. I kind of disagree with him. Joe goes, I'm not as fast as everybody thinks. Hey, I disagree with that. Joe will scald you. He will burn you up. Don't ever talk smack about Bonamassa's playing unless you can really play, because that man will cut you open. He is lethally fast. In his mind, he doesn't think he's as fast because he's not quite as fast as like Guthrie Govan or EJ. But Joe's thing is he's so aggressive and so clean on it. It just has so much character and bite and attack and sass and just aggression. I love the way he does it. Now, on conversely, I think EJ is like the most beautiful, you know, flowing, like water coming out of a bucket. EJ is the Ferrari. Elegant lines, slightly curvy, just gliding across the racetrack, right? You know? And Bonamassa is like the muscle car, where it's all aggression and it's just pounding the pavement, and there's no doubt about it. And the lines are muscular and square, right? That's the way it resonates with me. And a lot of the things that sometimes I see in the comment section that you guys ask me about is, Andy, what are you thinking about? Andy, what are you seeing on the fretboard? Andy, what's the hand position? To me, I'm actually thinking about the more core human emotion of it, the carnal, fundamental thing. Do I want this to be like claws, or do I want it to be like smooth and elegant? You know, like when I'm playing Storms and Sparrows, I'm trying to be smooth, just real smooth and elegant with it. When I'm trying to play Free Range Chicken or Junktown, I'm trying to be muscular and square. You know what I mean? Just that kind of thing. So it's an interesting perspective on that. And a lot of times music to me can get so microscopic in the details of the fretboard that we're forgetting about the emotion that we want to convey. Like, I hope that when I play that there's an emotion involved to it, and there's surprise and humor and aggression, and there's all these different human qualities that come out. That's where my focus is in trying to improvise or compose or any even as a sideman or as a session player, you know, it's like, that's the top priority for me. So, yeah. Yeah, Bonamasa's got that. He's saying Bonamasa got the Gilbert attack. It's just, yeah. Yeah, okay. A couple more questions here before we bail out. Counter is saying, hey, dude, do you still have the EJJMP? Yeah, it's not a JMP. It's a Plexi. So, well, it's a super lead. I think this was a right after the Plexi. This is a 69. This is a 1969 instead of 68. So, but yeah, there we go. Have you tried the BK Butlers? I've actually got all of them stacked up over here to do a full shootout. I've been working on this Joy to the World video for 2 weeks. So I hope you guys love it. Hopefully it'll go out maybe tonight or first thing in the morning. Who knows? Maybe tonight. Maybe we'll go ahead and put it out tonight. I don't know if YouTube likes it when you upload 2 videos in one day. I need to Google. Does anybody know the answer to that? Will Google or not promote one if 2 go out in one day? You know what I'm saying? I don't know the answer to that. Andy, are you this PSL 1 down here? Hope you have a great Christmas, PSL. He's saying, are you the quote unquote shut up and play your guitar guy? If that's the case, I'll learn a lot from you. I don't know. I don't know if I'm that guy or not. I definitely think the proof's in the picking. If you check out multiple avenues of the guitar community, there's some great dudes in the guitar community, like Dan Huff. The ability, the playing, the humility, how humble he is. And I'm just like, golly dang, dude, why are you so humble? You're so great. And then, of course, there's a lot of sour apples. And there's guys that make videos just trash talking other dudes and calling people out by name and stuff. This foolishness. I think the proof's in the picking always. So if you're asking if I'm the shut up and play your guitar guy, absolutely. And I think the guys that can't play or play poorly tend to make the most noise. And as far as being a sour apple and a hater, those guys always tend to call out other people that are successful. And by that, let's tread very carefully, because I'm not talking about the Giacomo situation where my man was, clearly stealing Mark Lettieri solos or Jack Gardner solos. When people dogpiled on Giacomo, I was like, man, I gotta let it happen. You can't defend that. Giacomo, you should have been stealing. Is that me saying that Giacomo's a terrible person? Of course not, man. He made some horrible decisions, but I don't think it's like, I don't know the guy, man. I don't know what's going on in his head. But you definitely don't steal stuff and then sell the tablatures as if it's your own thing, without even acknowledging the source material. The guys that I'm talking about as sour apples are guys that are just, in the Facebook forums. Maybe they're in, on Instagram or YouTube comment sections, or they're making videos on, YouTube, and they're always calling out people by name. And I just go, man, the proof's in the playing. Or, can you play like Dan Huff? Or, are you a good player at all? It's like, it always comes back to that. So in a sense, I guess I am the shut up and play your guitar, but also, if you're not a great player, I don't equate that to you being a bad person. I equate bad behavior to being a bad person. Listen, there's guys in my Patreon that are the sweetest, kindest, most selfless dudes that I've ever met in my life. Just guys that are just genuinely fans of music who happen to be hobby players. They don't sound like Dan Huff or Steve Morse, right? They're not professional players, but they're their greatest people ever. It's like some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, right? So those two things don't correlate. However, there is a common correlation with loud personalities that call people out by name and a lack of ability. And it's compensating for a lack of ability. That's just all you can psychologically chalk it up to. Are you a monster player that is getting called every day of the week to play on hit records in Nashville, Tennessee, probably a pretty chill dude, because you've got to be in a high-stress environment with other monster players. Those environments don't allow a ton of ego. You look across the room and you see Travis Toy or Jerry Rowe or Gordon Mote or Stuart Duncan, Paul Franklin. You don't have a lot of room in that room for ego. So most of the time, those environments seem to be very chill. This is a very maybe a little too esoteric of a kind of a conversation to be having, but that's a great question, because I'm not sure if I'm the shut up and play your guitar guy or not, because there's a lot of guys that aren't the best players in the world that I want to hang out with and spend time with. My grandmother couldn't play anything, and she was the greatest woman that I knew. It's like, those things don't connect. They don't make you a good person or a bad person. Man, I know some monster players that are complete jerks. I know the other side of the coin too, So it's a very that's an open-ended line. That's an open-ended cable. Maybe we'll make a video on that at some point. I don't really know. So Guitar Academy 1 is in the house. One of the last couple of questions we'll take before my mom gets here and do some celebrating for Christmas. Guitar Academy says, any tips for picking free-range chicken? And I guess what you're talking about would be the arpeggio section, right? That's really that's the booger. The trick to that line is it ends up on the ands or the e's. It ends up on flipping upside down as the riff is played. So it starts out on downbeats. Down, down, down. It's like it gets upside down. Right? That's where it's like, it gets tricky. So here's a lick that's in my very first Woodshed episode. Maybe it's in the first Woodshed episode we ever did. And it goes like this. Let's just play it in the key of E. And we'll do this. That's 10 notes, and it's going to alternate the direction every time you go in a. So look, down, up, 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 down, up. So that helps break the directional thing, right? And if you get that rolling around, then now you're just trying to move it through the different string sets, right? So, it's really hard for me to play it slow for some reason. It gets like in my head, right? So crazy. Okay, that's for free range chicken. I got to get these steaks rolling around. Christmas time's a coming, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, blessed Christmas. I hope you spend all the time that you can with your family and your friends. Eat too much. Hang out with the kids too much. Spend too much time with the friends. Work can wait. Put it off. It can wait. You only get so many Christmases, right? So I'm going to take my own advice right now. I'm going to step out of the studio, go into the kitchen, spend the time with the family, and I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. Thank you guys for tuning in to all the stuff that I make day after day, week after week, and just being a part of the community that we've created. So I appreciate you guys very, very much, and Merry Christmas.